The day was 90th May of 2021. SpaceLegs was finally released. The age-old desire of legging around while doing other leg-related, business was finally at hand. I mean leg. So I was waiting that year of maintenance and that beyond season of questionable releases worth it? And more so was a legit 100 developer team capable of delivering quality product with this expansion for at least $40? Is it worth spending money on expansion for a space sim when for the same money you can get two great older shooters or one more modern one? Is the Armstrong moment that important? Or was it the company's marketing team bullshitting like there's no tomorrow? And what's this about the whole game versions being split? Well, let's get started with that then. Basically, PC version has been released approximately 6 months before console version. You may be wondering, why? Well, good, I like your curiosity. On top, for this very period, Frontier has decided to split Horizons players and Odyssey players completely. Either you pick one or the other. But unlike with Horizons and the base game back in 2015 when the season pass launched, you would not instance and see the players from the other version. Why? Why did Frontier decide to split the player base when back in the day with Horizons it was just a software lock? When every time you tried to do some Horizons related stuff from the base game, it would just simply not load you the part. So why is there a split? Well, the obvious explanation is that on planet surfaces, Odyssey and Horizons players won't see each other is due to the feed people having and requiring higher age rating, because shooting people in face with guns is worse than, well, whatever age rating Horizons was. No? Okay, fine. But then why can't Jim Bob see the old Cletus in instance simply in space like normal? Again, between Horizons and the base game it was allowed. Well, the answer has to do with the console release.
Yeah, what the fuck does the peasant boxes have to do with my fucking glorious PC game?
Kind of a lot. See, often console versions get released later is due to validation and platform requirements and whatnot else that Sony and Microsoft puts on their consoles, even updates. However, that I highly suspect is not the case today. And no, I doubt that Frontier simply wants to sell more Odyssey versions so they don't give Horizons players the promised free graphical and planetary updates. No, the bottom line is, it's the performance. In consoles, in order to actually qualify for a passable product, Odyssey needs, well, a better performance. Because guess what? Star Citizen-like shitshow slideshow won't roll with a lesser capable hardware that resides within PlayStation 4 or Xbone. In other words, the performance on PC is barely good enough to appease the average idiot who doesn't think that suddenly going from 120 frames on Horizons down to 60 frames a second on Odyssey is very, very bad. And shit you not, this is what I was getting. From 120 down to 60. Fact is, Frontier released an absolute minimum viable product performance-wise on PC. And now, for the next 6 months, basically the PC version is going to be a fucking beta test. For the fucking donkeys over at Frontier. They don't want to admit that it's a beta. Funniest thing is that, in a way, consoles have a higher standard for this expansion's release rather than the PC where the company can just shit out whatever works enough and call it a day. Is this what you paid good money for? Mind you, optimization ain't gonna be coming overnight. So perhaps for those 6 months, strap on in, folks. This frankly is very despicable. Yes, there is bare minimum performance optimization for a product that is not only expensive as fuck, but as an expansion should already be finished on launch, not be yet another garbage. We'll finish and polish this later, you guys, trust us. Frankly speaking, fuck the management over at Elite Dev Team. Yes, this decision is solely on the shit-covered shoulders of the upper management, maybe even Braben himself. for forcing this clearly half-finished embryo out the door. I say this should have been delayed for the next 6 months at least. In fact, I want it delayed, if this is the best they can do. Nope, just take customers' money and make them into fucking beta testers. Cause I have a full confidence in the coder team that they can deliver well-optimized and comparable product for us all, be it PC, console or otherwise. But that wonderful potential and enjoyment is now overshadowed by the shit performance that must be discussed and rightfully piled on for being unacceptable, before we even can start discussing features or gameplay. Fuck these corporate dipshits who force out releases out before they are properly ready just to meet some physical bowel movement. And fuck these idiots who support these companies shitting out this kind of content too. Instead of talking about the quality of the game, now we have to contend with this first. And do you know how much I wanted to talk about and sing praises of the new feat tutorial? The fucking pieces of shit, goddammit!